Hi guys, in today's video we're going to talk about hair loss, and it's a topic that so many of you asked me to talk about. And also from a very young age, from my teenage years, I had been suffering from hair loss myself, and I don't think there was ever any visit to the hairdresser where she didn't remark on my hair falling out more than usual. So it was always a big concern for me. Luckily I had really thick hair and a lot of it, so I never really noticed too much of a difference in my hair. But in the last few years, when my Hashimoto's and hyperthyroidism kicked in, I really noticed a huge difference in the volume of my hair, and I believe I probably lost around 40 to 50% of all my hair in my struggles with thyroid disease. So I spent months and months researching how to stop losing my hair, and so this video is really like a compilation of all my best tips on how to stop your hair loss, and really it's the 10 root causes that you should look into if you have hair loss. So all these root causes could be potential causes for your hair loss. It doesn't mean that all of them apply to you. They might not, but some of them might actually be the answer that you need. So I really hope that you'll find this video helpful and that your hair loss will stop like mine did in the last few months. So let's jump into the video. The first thing to look into if you have hair loss is low thyroid function, Hashimoto's, thyroiditis, or Graves' disease, any kind of thyroid disease really, especially low thyroid though, because when you have thyroid disease, hair loss is actually one of the most prominent, one of the most important symptoms. So a lot of people go to do the blood test, but they either don't do all of the necessary blood tests, or they use the traditional ranges, which are actually way too wide. You need the functional ranges, and if you go to do the test, the functional ranges should be something like this. So TSH no more than 2 or 2.5, but definitely no more than that. The free T3 should be towards the higher range, and then free T4 should be around the middle of the range. So a lot of people go to do the test, and me included. I went to do the test, and my FT4 was towards the lower range, and then free T3 was right on the bottom range, and I thought that I was okay because I was still within the range, but I was going through incredibly bad hypothyroidism symptoms, and if I'd gone to any regular doctor, I wouldn't have even known, because they would have told me that my thyroid was perfectly fine. Another reason why people might suffer from hair loss with hypothyroidism is when they're taking Synthroid or any other T4 synthetic medicine, because a lot of people have a problem with free T4 to free T3 conversion. So people who are taking Synthroid and they can't convert to free T3 will be going through lots of bad symptoms, including hair loss. And then finally, people who are taking natural desiccated thyroid but are not taking a big enough dose, like not a dose that is actually correct for them, they would still experience hypothyroidism symptoms, and so they would still experience hair loss. It's the first thing that you should look into if you're going through hair loss. From my own experience, it was my root cause, one of the root causes, but definitely the most important one. So definitely don't take this lightly. Definitely do all the relevant tests. The next possible root cause is low ferritin. Ferritin is like the storage of iron in your body. So a lot of people go to do the blood test and they check the hemoglobin and iron, and they're perfectly fine, and they think, well, low iron is probably not the reason for their hair loss. The problem is that a lot of people can have totally normal hemoglobin and totally normal iron with very low ferritin. I am one of those people. I had perfectly normal, both of those totally normal, and then my ferritin was actually on the floor. It was 25, and my hair loss obviously was really bad, and taking extra iron is usually not even an answer. Low ferritin is usually because of low copper, and I can't believe that I didn't know it for years. I was taking iron and I felt almost poisoned by it. But then I stopped taking it. I started taking some more supplemental copper, and my ferritin went from 25 to 56 in just 6 months, which is, I think, amazing. So in order to stop your hair loss, your ferritin needs to be around 50, at least 50. And in order for the hair to regrow, it needs to be around 70. A lot of the naturopathic doctors say that it should be around 70 to 80. That's like the optimal range It's for women, for men it can be a little bit more, I guess. So the next root cause is low copper, and this is very similar to the previous one, but low copper might not even come together with low ferritin, so you might not even be aware of it. There are lots of different symptoms of low copper, including gray hair, hair that's losing color, skin that's losing color in patches or is difficult to get tanned, arthritis, and there's so many different ones. I actually made a video all about the copper conspiracy and all the health benefits of copper. So if you're interested, you can definitely watch it and you'll find out much more about copper. I'll add a link somewhere here for you. But copper is very, very important for regrowing your hair and stopping the hair loss. And copper was definitely one of the most miraculous supplements for me when I started taking it. I saw an incredible difference in my hair and I started getting so much regrowth. And I used to take liquid chlorophyll, which is a great source of copper. So my favorite one is the chloroxygen from, I don't know what this brand is called, but basically it's chloroxygen. It's like the purest one, the cleanest ingredients one, and it's great. And then at the moment I'm taking just chelated copper, 2 to 4 milligrams a day. This one is from Solary, and it's really helping my overall health, but especially my hair, so much. The next reason that's actually very, very common, especially in the Western world, is low magnesium. So the magnesium in the soil at the moment is seriously low compared to even 50 to 100 years ago. Because of the kind of farming that we do, it's not organic, we don't use proper fertilizers, and so magnesium is running really low in the soil. So it's almost impossible to get enough magnesium naturally just from the food. When magnesium is low, the body is unable to dissolve calcium from the blood, and it just gets deposited in all kinds of soft tissues and also in your hair follicles. So magnesium is definitely one of the most important things to look into. You can either try a supplement. My favorite one is magnesium malate. It's just powder, it's almost tasteless, and it's the cleanest thing because it doesn't have any kind of additives. And you can also try magnesium oil and apply it on your skin. I made a video previously about how to make your own magnesium oil for literally pennies, and it works so well. Magnesium oil leads us to the next root cause, which is low vitamin D. So a lot of people live in really sunny and hot climates. Like me, I live on a subtropical island, but my vitamin was low, like really low, under 30, and I couldn't understand why. And apparently it's because low magnesium is very much linked to low vitamin D. So when magnesium is low, vitamin D will be low too, to prevent your body from, overflowing with too much unavailable calcium. So if you have low vitamin D, definitely look into your magnesium levels. And of course, spending a bit of time in the sun is always so great for your overall health and also for your hair. Root number 6 could be adrenal health. Modern world, our careers and schools and everything else is seriously not really very human friendly because it's full of stress. So our adrenals don't cope very well with all that extra stress. So it's definitely worth looking into how to strengthen your adrenals. And if you have the money and if it's available in your country, like if you are from the US or Canada, it's definitely worth doing the cortisol saliva test, because then you will know exactly what's going on with your adrenals, if they're healthy or not, if your cortisol levels are right. I don't have that kind of possibility here in Europe, so I can't do it, but if you can, I highly recommend doing it to know what's going on. And you can also use things like adrenal cortex if your cortisol is low, or raw adrenals. There are also all kinds of adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha, rhodiola, Siberian ginseng, and things like that, which actually help your adrenals to balance out and get stronger. Also, meditation is so great for reducing the stress, or I should say learning how to deal with stress better. Also, yoga is so good for your stress relief, and also it's really good for your hair, because especially the inverted poses, when you go upside down, there's much more blood flow going into your scalp and bringing all the nutrients and more oxygen, and so your hair is able to recover much better and stop falling so much. And of course, getting enough sleep is huge. I can see it from my own example. If I don't get enough sleep, even just for one night, my hair loss will be so much bigger, like so much stronger in the next couple of days, until I get that sleep deprivation back. If I miss, let's say, 3 or 4 hours on one of the nights, It's not like I can just sleep normally during the next night and everything will be fine. I know that I have to take those hours back. So maybe I'll have to add an hour more of sleep every single night for a few nights in order to get that sleep back, because that deficit doesn't go anywhere. It's like borrowing from a bank. Sooner or later you have to pay back, and if you don't, then the interest will be huge. The next root cause could be very chemical and drying shampoos and other hair products. So definitely try to check what kind of products you're using and maybe get rid of any products with SLS and other really drying and dangerous ingredients, because it's really not good for the health of your scalp and for the hair. So there's so many incredible and really cheap brands of natural shampoos and conditioners online. I buy all of mine from iHerb or from my local health shop, but iHerb is really such a good source because there's so many different brands and they're all under $10, which is really, really so amazing. And your hair will be completely different once you start using those kind of products. Getting back to minerals, the next mineral that could be causing hair loss is low zinc. So zinc is actually very important for the health of your hair shaft itself, but also for the health of your scalp. So if you don't have enough zinc, you'll probably be getting dandruff and really dry scalp, and that is really not really good for growing healthy hair. So if you want to try a zinc supplement, definitely remember that you always have to take it together with copper, because otherwise you won't be able to absorb it and you might even cause yourself a copper deficiency. I learned that through nasty experience, and I made a video about how I managed to raise my zinc levels without actually taking zinc supplements. So if you're interested, I'll definitely link to the video somewhere here. But it's quite fascinating how copper and zinc are actually so interrelated together. It's really, really interesting. The next point to look into is your diet. Perhaps you're not eating the correct diet for yourself, or you're not getting the right nutrients for yourself. Maybe you're not getting enough nutrients. So the first thing I always try to apply to myself and also tell other people is to look into how the ancestors have been eating for the last few hundred years or even thousands of years, because that is probably the best kind of diet for yourself, and that's probably what your body is mostly adapted to. So things like lots of vegetables, limited amounts of fruit, and lots of legumes, and lots of sourdough bread, and some meat and fish, and some really good quality dairy is exactly what works really well for me, but it might be a little bit different for you. So definitely look into what your great parents or great grandparents were eating, and you will have your answer what's the best thing for you. But in general, it's really important to get enough healthy fats from both animals and plants, and eat a varied diet, like a really varied diet. The more varied diet, the happier the bugs in your intestines are going to be, and the healthier your hair is going to be. And the last root cause is dry and unhealthy scalp, because an unhealthy scalp just can't grow healthy hair, right? So one of the best remedies I found for that, apart from all the internal remedies that I talked about in the video already, is using oil masks once a week. So I have this conditioning oil from our Oromere, a brand called Oromere. I got it from iHerb, and I use it every single week, and it's so awesome because it's full of lots of beneficial oils and spices and herbs to help your scalp get more blood flow, so to get more nutrients, and also to nourish and moisturize the scalp, because often when your scalp is really dry, you get dandruff, and then your hair just doesn't really stay in the scalp very well. So it's been really, really, really helpful for me, and Ayurveda has really long traditions of using oils on the body and on the scalp to promote health. And this oil is just incredible. I can highly recommend it. But there are lots of different ones, and even you can use things like olive oil or coconut oil, castor oil. You don't have to get these mixtures of Ayurvedic ones. You can just use any oil, and it will make a huge difference for you, I promise. So these are all the 10 root causes that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't really share any kind of specific, recipes or masks or anything like that, because that's not what this video was about. But if you're interested, perhaps in the future I can give some more ideas, some more concrete recipes or things like that to try. But I always say that healthy hair and healthy skin and everything else on the outside comes from within. So definitely look into the inside, your mineral levels, your health, and that's going to work so much better than trying all kinds of masks on your hair and not not seeing any results. So definitely try a holistic approach. Try to do things on the outside and on the inside at the same time, and you should get really beautiful results. And also, if you have any kind of request for me, like what kind of videos you would like to see from me, please let me know down in the comments, because I have a huge list of the video topics I'd like to talk about. But of course, if you have any kind of pressing requests for me, please tell me, and then perhaps I'll do those before any kind of topics that I would like to talk about. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon in my next video. Bye.